This video is my response to psychological egoism. Um, what that is that's the idea that everything we do is selfish, and that has a bad connotation towards it. And what it really means is that everything we do, whether it be good or bad, whether we steal from someone, we're doing it because it benefits ourselves. Or whether we help an old lady across the street, we're doing it because it benefits ourselves, because it makes us feel good. And that's and the idea in this philosophy is the only thing that we do, the only reason we do anything is to be completely selfish. And I don't agree with it. And I'll tell you why. I can't disprove it, but you can't really prove it either. That's a problem with it. So it's not really, you can't really prove one way or another. People say they can prove it, but they can't. Um, but one one thing that it just really bothers me, because the idea is that there can be no such thing as compassion, and I don't I don't know, and it may just be my. It's very possible that it's just me holding on to ideas that I don't want to let go. But it just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Compassion is such a real thing, and I'll tell you why. Personally, I don't, because I pondered this philosophy for a long time, for not like a really long time, but like the course of like 6 months. It really bothered me. I was trying to figure out whether these things are true or whether they're not, and I came to the conclusion that I don't think they're real, because like inside, like the great example people like to use inside of Abraham Lincoln's younger life before he was president. Him and a friend were in a wagon driving down a road, and Abraham Lincoln stops the wagon. He jumps out, and because he sees some piglets, and they're drowning in the mud, and the mother's frantic, and she's like trying to save them, but she can't, because she doesn't have thumbs, you know. But so Abraham Lincoln saves them, and he jumps back, and his friend says, "Wow, Abe, that was a really altruistic thing you did back there." And Abraham Lincoln said, "No." He said, "It was an extremely selfish thing I did back there." He said, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have peace of mind all day. I'd be worrying about, those piglets being dead and knowing that I could have done something." And that makes sense. It really does. This philosophy makes sense. I'm not trying to debunk it. It's very logical. It's very easy to see why someone would fall into it. But the reason I don't believe it is because what was going through Abe's mind, or what's going through anyone's mind, when something, when you when you really help somebody, especially in such a frantic situation like that, where you have to help them as soon as possible, or else it's life or death or something of the sort. You don't go in there thinking, you don't go to help them thinking, well, how can I benefit from this? How am I going to feel good? You go in there completely concerned. He wasn't thinking, oh, I need to help those piglets because if I don't, I'll feel bad later. You don't think stuff like that when something like that happens to you. Or happens to when you go to help someone. You think, okay, they're in trouble. I need to help them. I need to help them right now. Later, you might feel good, but that's a byproduct of compassion. You might later, and I will admit that feeling good about something that you've done is a selfish deed. I don't think it's wrong, but it is a selfish deed. But I don't think it's what strives. What strives us to do things that are compassionate. It's it's just that love for other living things. It's just a very natural thing, and it's not a selfish thing, and it's not as we don't do things to feel good about them. I mean, we might do a lot of things to feel good about them, but not all of the time. Like if there's something that we do to help somebody, a lot of times we do it just to help them because they need it at the moment, and then later we think, oh wow, I'm such a good person. Da, 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 I'm selfish, you know. But that's why I don't believe in psychological egoism. But I'd like to hear what y'all have to say. So please comment on this.